My next guest moved from the NFC West to the NFC South, where he's having a great time because he is the defending head coach in this year's competition to try and repeat as Super Bowl champions. And in 6 days, he and his Buccaneers will kick off the season, raise a banner, and turn the page with the Dallas Cowboys in the house. He is Bruce Arians. How are you, Coach?
Rich, I'm doing great, buddy. How you doing?
I'm doing better for talking to you. When I hear your voice, I think football, and we're back. We're back.
We're back, baby.
I'm so excited about that. So, first things first, what is it like in your locker room right now? How much are you talking about last year and page turning right now, Bruce Arians?
You know, we kind of put that to bed, Rich, in May at the mandatory minicamp. And our guys have been, we're so fortunate. Our defense and our offense are really good, so they get after each other so much in practice. You can't stand back and relax. And if you do, you get exposed real quick. So I've had to say very, very little about it. Obviously, they'll drop a banner, but last year's over. It's a whole new season.
It's also got to be good that you've got a quarterback that's been there and done that, 6 times, having to defend something like that. How much has Brady been, I guess, preaching the same gospel as you on page turning, Bruce Arians?
Yeah, he's been fantastic, Rich. I mean, he and Gronk, JPP, they've all been there. We've got about 6 or 7 coaches who have all won Super Bowls. So it's, just keep beating everybody in the head. And, again, our guys, when they turn on film, they know what work looks like. And we have not had any problem with the work. And
what's Brady been like? Just give me a good example of what he's been like right now compared to the year before and what you need in terms of a quarterback to lead the charge for a title defense, Bruce Arians.
Yeah, it's light years difference. This year he knows what the words mean when he's calling plays. And last year, at this time, he barely did. And he's so much more comfortable in his skin and everything that we're doing, coming to work, the facility, everything that he did for 20 years was different last year. This year, it's the same old stuff. So he can really – I never knew Tom was such a great guy with young players, but he's a fantastic guy with young players.
How so? Can you give me an example, please, Bruce Arians?
Yeah, veteran players or young players, coaches, hey, you're not pumping your arms coming out of your brakes, man. Your arms are going dead as soon as your head turns around. And they say, oh, yeah, coach, cool. And then Tom goes, hey, man, I need your arms to pump and you're coming out of that break because I'm going to throw the ball out in front of you. And okay, Tom, I'll do it. Next thing you do, they do it. I was like, I've been trying to tell you to do that shit for a month now. So now it's just like, hey, Tom, can you tell this guy to go do this for me? And it gets done.
And you're like, come on, I'm the coach. Like, I've been, I used to be hanging around Bear Bryant, for crying out loud. You ever say?
These guys don't even know who that is.
I bet. Oh, my gosh. But a little bit more on Brady. I've got Bruce Arians here on the Rich Eisen Show because you were on, I'm trying to think, it was around just after Thanksgiving on this show. You were on just after Thanksgiving, and I asked you when you think Brady was going to have the full grasp of the offense, and you said maybe next spring. And then you won the Super Bowl anyway. But that does now we're in the next summer. We're in the next fall. And how does Brady, having a year under his belt offensively, with all of that knowledge, neck up, chest, with that heart beating inside, how that will actually manifest itself, do you think, in the 2021 season?
Yeah, it's been great. It's great. And, he hates losing. So we had a 2-minute drill about 3 weeks ago. And the defense stopped him on 4th and 5, and he threw his helmet. He kicked the ball across the other field. He was so pissed, and so that fire burns, man. I've never seen it. It doesn't burn that hot in some young players, yet alone a guy's 44. But he's been amazing, and every single day, just what he brings to practice, his competitive fire. Like I said, I never have to say, hey, you guys ain't practicing hard enough. Offensively, especially with him, but defensively with Levante and Shaq and JPP and Sue and those guys, they know they stay after it.
And defensively, how has your unit improved, do you think, from last year's remarkable run in which they anchored quite a bit? Obviously, we do focus on the offensive side of the ball, but let's call it brass tacks. I mean, in many different ways, your defense caused Kansas City to realign their entire offensive line based on what happened on your field on that February night when you picked confetti out of the ground. So what about the defense do you think is better this year, Bruce Arians?
Yeah, I think our young secondary now kind of understands why they do things. They knew what to do, but to know why you're doing it and what you're trying to beat, and the route concepts and all the things that Todd has taught those guys, adding some younger players to the mix, and it's been fun to watch their growth. Like I said, we've got great battles when we go against ourselves in training camp on offense versus defense. So just the continued growth of those guys, adding Joe Tryon and a couple of young guys, it's fun to watch.
Bruce Arians here in advance of Thursday night kickoff against the Dallas Cowboys that you can hear right here on Westwood One Radio. The Cowboys, sir, what challenges do they present to you on the Thursday night kickoff?
A bunch. When you go back and you look at when they were healthy, how good they were offensively, averaging over 400 yards a game. And, I love Dak Prescott. I think he's one of the classiest dudes and one of the best leaders in this game. As Zeke's healthy, their offensive line is healthy. I mean, they got decimated last year. And defensively, they're playing a defense that fits their personnel. Dan Quinn's a great coach, and they'll be sound. And, we know what kind of challenge we're up for.
Yeah, I mean, let's talk about the Dan Quinn of it all, because that has been a large part of the conversation, how Dallas and their defensive woes from last year automatically will be better just because of him and what he's bringing, and the scheme he's bringing might be a better scheme fit for their players. Are you seeing that on film so far?
Oh, definitely. I think, having been a 4-3 team and then switching to a 3-4, the personnel matches up what they're trying to do now, and their young secondary got a lot of experience last year. So, yeah, I mean, they got a ton of speed on defense. The young linebacker looks fantastic, and so yeah, they're healthy on defense too. But I think there's no doubt what Dandy does defensively, it fits their personnel.
Bruce Arians here on the Rich Eisen Show. Speaking of health, 100% vaccination rate. Congratulations, Coach, on that.
I appreciate it. Yeah, it was the goal of our whole organization, and we've got the entire organization vaccinated and healthy.
So what was the message that you delivered to players who were on the fence, needed more information, or potentially steadfast against the idea and then eventually took the jab? What was your process in that, Bruce Arians?
It basically was a personal decision, but to get as much information and knowledge. Don't read on the internet. I mean, get real facts. Whether I never had to bring in a specialist. We've got great doctors here who basically gave them the facts. We live in an area in Florida where it's rampant, and so you're going to get less sick if you're vaccinated. And we've had a number of vaccinated people test positive through training camp, but only have the sniffles. I know you got it worse, but nobody got anything serious whatsoever. But just continue to educate.
No, exactly. I got it, and it lasted 4 days. It was dreadful, but the fear of it could go in any direction was just as bad as the actual symptoms I was feeling. And I was glad that I was quarantined. I was glad that I was away from others. And certainly if I was around somebody as old as Tom Moore, I would make sure I was, protecting myself and others around, right? I mean, like that would be my general sense of it, to be very honest, Coach. You know?
And again, I think there's so much respect in our building for each other that no one wanted to bring it in the building. I'll be 69, Tom's going to be 83, and it's going to damage us tremendously if we get it. So the guys were great last year. Our team was, it was one of the reasons we went all the way, is we didn't have to fight it very hard. The guys just bought in, and they know where they live. So, you test positive now, you're missing games again, even though you're vaccinated, which I'm not a fan of. But so just still got to be very smart about it.
Bruce Arians here on the Rich Eisen Show. All right, if you'll indulge, because I know you page turn. You said you turned the page in May, but just what will it mean to you when you see a banner raised in your building that you won in a game in your building, right? That you protected your house in the ultimate game against a team that had one of the, most dangerous quarterbacks that we've seen in quite some time. You vanquished all of it. What will it mean to you before you obviously put your sights on the Dallas Cowboys on Thursday night to watch that banner go up, do you think, Bruce Arians?
Yeah, I'm sure I'll get chills, Rich, but I've been kind of over it. And our ring ceremony was really late, and it was like, okay, we finally got the rings, everything. Let's get to next year. I've been pushing next year for a long time. So it'll hit, I think, everybody that was part of that team. And my message is everybody standing on that sideline, that's not you. You didn't win that banner. All right, that was last year's team. They won that banner. God bless them. Let's see what you guys got tonight.
What is it? That's not you? That's the phrase that you're using, right?
Yeah, you didn't win that banner. That's last year's bunch.
This is now this year. And by the way, so you call that a ring? I call that an igloo. Really? I've never seen anything like that.
Special. It's pretty special.
Honestly, it's like rings are usually like oval, right? Like a walnut shape. That thing was a circle, right? Or it is.
It's Darcy Kasowitz Glazier did did an unbelievable job. Darcy's the best, and just putting that thing together and the thought that went into it, and all the intricacies of what the ring is designed for. I've worn it twice, and it's special.
Holy crap! I'm looking at a photograph. It opens up. The top opens up. It really does.
And it has the outline of the stadium with history because we're the first team to ever win at home.
Yeah. Wow.
And all those little 319 diamonds. Score was 31-9. Everything on that ring has some kind of meaning.
So, what are the two times? The night you got it, and what's the second? When was the second time you wore it?
To the White House. Well, not to the White House. Excuse me. We got it after the White House. Where did I wear it?
Yeah.
Okay. I was trying to impress somebody.
It wasn't the White House? You didn't wear it to the White House? Because that would have set off security, I think.
We didn't get it till the next day. We went to the White House before we got the ring.
Okay.
And I'm trying to, where did I wear it?
It's all good.
I can't remember now. I don't know.
Okay. You just put that thing away then. You'll just wear it another time. Just got to win another one. I can't even imagine how big that would be. My gosh.
It can't be any bigger.
Okay. Well, look, Bruce, thanks for the call. Your family, everything's good? Life's good? Everybody's healthy in your family?
Everything's great. Yeah, everything's fantastic.
And
hopefully everybody's great out there.
And how's your foundation? Let me ask you about that before we go. Tell me about the foundation.
Going strong, yeah. Going strong. We had, an unbelievable event in the spring.
Yep.
And broke all our records. So we're trying to figure out what we can do next. And, my son's doing a great job running the foundation.
Fantastic.
We're.
Yes, it's the AriansFamilyFoundation.com. Beautiful, at AriansFF on Twitter and Instagram. I would be remiss if I didn't ask you this video and quote from your quarterback, Tom Brady, has gone viral, where he was talking. I guess it was an in-house conversation with Gronk. I thought I saw Gronk there and Mike Evans. I don't know if you've seen this soundbite, where Brady's saying that the league throwing flags on defensive players for hitting an offensive player that is so-called defenseless, that it's sometimes on the offensive player and the quarterback and the wide receivers. It's their fault for running into the defense and not knowing it, and making themselves defenseless, and a quarterback putting a ball in a certain spot, and that offensive players should have a certain responsibility on keeping offensive players healthy. Don't leave it to the defense. Did you see that? And if not, what do you think of that?
Yeah, we actually had a long conversation. We were on a second hole the other day playing golf, and it rained on us. So we had a nice conversation about the rule changes and how, I'm like, you throw the ball in the flat and cover two, and the guy gets blown up. The quarterback should get the penalty, not the guy hitting him.
Right.
And so it's like, they make the onus on the defense so hard anymore. And the strike zone, guys can only bend so far. If the guy you're tackling is bending down and you bend down, your heads are going to hit. You got shoulder pads on, you know what I mean? So yeah, I'm not all for all the rules. I'm for player safety, believe me.
Sure.
But some of them are getting out of hand.
Well, sure. So Brady's statement or that comment might have been asked a direct question. I don't know what the question was kind of born out. It was on his mind because the two of you had a conversation during a rain delay in golf. That's what you're saying.
Very similar.
Okay. All right. I love the origin stories about that sort of stuff. Coach, thanks for the call. Best to your family. Let's do this during the season and have a great kickoff against the Dallas Cowboys. The whole country's watching, as you know.
You bet. Thanks, Rich.
You got it. That's Bruce Arians. Always great to talk to Bruce Arians here on the Rich Eisen Show, the HC of the TB, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Hey, you watched all the way to the end. Thanks for that. Watch more right here.